Okay, starting out, we have a 299 Ahmed with her signature artifact, a 286 effectiveness Asterion renewed, and for the last unit, there is a Strays with 226 speed, and of course he's on Prelude to New Era. This is versus Rurel, Shu, and the Barunka. Now I did have my Isaria on a damage build, but I switched her just for this fight. On the bottom side, we have Shu, 246, Sweet Miracle, Ruel, Water's Origin, not maxed because the other one's on Maid Chloe, and of course the Photo 268 Spirit Isoline. We go in here and we see that the Ruel is on GIC. Here are the speeds. The Shu here is about 260 and the Rel's 220. And of course, it's Moas Barunka. That's basic build, slow. I go for the S2, S3 on the strays, and no souls, but that's fine because we do have a lot of effectiveness, like 200 on the Briarwitch Assyria, so we should be good here. I don't land any defense breaks on the Barunka or the Ruel. I was a bit upset here because it did land on the Shu, and obviously Strays doesn't need that. We do see its Proof of Valor on the ML Shu. And here, I go for the S2 on Strays for cleanup. Barunka goes for the S3, right onto the Braceria, and we do see it is Moas. And now it's just about cleaning up the Barunka that just refuses to die. And there is no chance that she's going to win this fight. Yeah, as you can see, 85% chance to land defense break, and it still didn't land. You know, even if I soul burn, I bet it still wouldn't land. Barunka fighting on her last legs here. And she finally goes down to the Strays S2. Moving on, the bottom team. We do see it is Yilha on her Sig, Standard Claw on Sigurd Scythe. My 268 Spirit Eye goes first. Go for the S3, of course, because Possession gives you 50% attack increase. And that procs the Lady on Soul Constellation, but that doesn't do much. And we have the ML Shu here to, of course, injure down the Yilha, just in case. And the Immortality is going to go away, so we S2 Rel for the damage limits. She lands Redirect Provoke. And I'm not gonna lie, I did get a bit lucky here, because I didn't get feared at all, and he crit me. Not gonna lie, it was luck. Wa goes for the Ruel. And now I believe she's gonna go for Spirit Eye. Yep. Counterattack, Photogenic goes through damage share. It didn't really matter who went first. Like, I did check CR, the lady was 255. They were so slow they wouldn't cut me at all. So it just doesn't matter. I would like to go for S3 here onto my Spirit Isoline. And because of Varel's new EE, it applies to her as well. It actually gives her HP percentage, I believe. And this is pretty standard. We go for Soul Burn on the Yilha. And because my S3 has one other turn, I can just Soul Burn again to finish off the wall. My only worry here was that Celine could potentially kill herself on the Yilha. But that's why we had MO, well, regular Ruel here for the revive, just in case. Yellow goes for S3. It's going to do a nothing burger, immortality, and damage limit. And Rel picks up the kill here. That's our first battle, and we're on to our next. We have a Renak at 303, signature artifact, Setsuka on our signature. New Kid Auden on Shepherd, pretty standard build. And bottom team is a cook, right? We run the SPP for rage and speed down for Tomoka because her new buff gives her pen whenever she's double the speed of her opponent. We do have her on 274 and book just so I don't get 15%ed. And the SPP is on unseen so I can soul burn with the Tomoka for extra damage. And you will see my Amiki, but she is on a standard build. We have her here for bait, just for the Renak. And here we go. This first fight could have been a bit iffy, but I'm looking to S2 the Mort here, just in case. I know I brought Setsuka into Mort, but it's fine. She's mostly there for the extra evasion chance for the Auden. We go S3 on the Spirit Isoline, and she pops. If Mort countered there, she would have lived, but I think it would have been fine in the long run. Renat could have finished her off with, because her S1 cannot crit. We S3 Mort here. She does injury, and he's dead. He is on Holy Sack, pretty standard build. The Yenya here did surprise me. She was 30k HP. If you're running 30k HP on Yenya, you're insane. And of course, the Setsuka's here for the extra dodge chance, so no matter what Mort does, he'll never be able to hit my Auden. I just decided to go for another S2 on the Mort because I just didn't want to proc the Yenya. I know I was safe. I still didn't want to proc her. And we finish off Mort. And now it's Yenya versus the world. Will she manage to clutch this out? Spoiler alert, no, she won't. She procs no bullying, and it will proc Auden's Vigor buff because this does count as an attack. Miss, triple miss. Counter, another counter. It's done. Bottom team, here's the fun one. Spoiler alert, I didn't win. But I just wanted to have fun with Tomoka. RNL, Renak, onto the Amiki. Pretty beefy Renak. I know there's Pilfer buff, but it's still pretty beefy. The Ruel surprised me here, since she is on like 230 speed. It's a pretty fast one. You'll see throughout the fights that my Amiki does provoke her. And we have S3 on the Politis. And here's the Tomoka. S2, S3. There we go. Thinking about it now, I should have just gone for the S3 right off the bat. There was no point to S2 here. It was a glorified waste of time. And on top of that, I could have kept the time matter on the Tomoka. It would have made a big difference. If you don't know what time matter does, after you get a kill, it reduces cooldowns. And as you see later on this fight, it could have it could have helped me a lot. Another mistake I made here is I should have gone for the Ruel. Like 100% should have gone for Ruel here. Amiki is allergic to counters. Maybe she countered once here. It could have worked out, but at the end of the day, there are a lot of mistakes made. And I'm ashamed I could not have popped off with my Tomoka. Of course, she goes for the S3. And there is not much I can really do here. Still no counters. This is why we do not trust Amiki. But she's good bait at the end of the day. I realize I'm cooked here. My shield is about to run out. The Ruel is pretty fast. And she crits my Tomoka. Goodbye, Tomoka. It was fun while it lasted. And Amiki has no immortalities left. So yeah. I think I allow her to finish off my Amiki because Amiki knows what she did. She should have countered and she did. Useless. It'd be really awesome if I was able to finish her off here. But nah. It'd be cool if she cleansed the Provoking S to herself so that I could get some extra attacks with Amiki, but beggars can't be choosers. And here I realized that the battle is just cooked. So, sadly, I had to yield. But it was fun seeing Tomoka in action, even though she did win. Next up, we have MisterA, Lionheart Sermia, Lady, and Ruel. Okay, here is our battle with Mr. He's running Ahmed, Frieren, and Muna. Of course, this is a glorified damage check. Look at the stats on that Frieren. And obviously the Ahmed is going to go first. She's 295 speed after all on Proof of Friendship. And a standard bomb team Renak, Veronica, and Amiki. Here we go. Obviously, he's going to go for the S2, S3. The Frieren and the Emperor are the same speed. So, I would say his Frieren's 162, so I'd say it's a 160 up. He goes S2, S3 on Frieren. Of course, it's still Proof of Friendship. Then he goes Soulburn on Muna. We have her here to seal because Frieren's S3 does penetration damage. And look at this damage. It is absolutely nuts. Initially, I did not know it was going to deal this much. That is insane. A single S3, and then he's going to S1 the Barunka and the Fall Protect to finish them off. And this is why you want your Ross on reversal set. Look at that. If Ross was on reversal set there, he would be able to kill probably at least one of the units. But since he's not, he just dies here for nothing. I know it's a new set, but come on. It's already been a few weeks. And he catches the dub. Here he has a 310 Renak because he has Veronica's speed imprint, yada yada yada. And this is a very funny one. Focus, he goes on Renak. We're completely ignoring BBK here because of the damage sharing. He goes S2, S3 Renak, and guess what? He's going to S3 Renak right here with Veronica, land the bomb and the defense break, and he's going to hit another S1 on the Renak. Look at that. He goes S3. No, S1. He's full health. On Renak, he lands Provoke. Yep. Does the pop damage. Lady's trying her best. Doesn't hit a stun. His Amiki goes, counters, finishes off the Renak, and now it's just Lady versus the world. She doesn't stand a chance in hell. He goes S2, S1, and he just tries to finish off the Lady. It is counter. Personally, my Lady is on speed set, since I prefer it, but I do see why a lot of people run counter. But it's just not putting in the work here. Not really getting any fears off. And she's done for. And here we have Bread with his monstrous 311 Renak with her Sig. Dragon King Shrone, Sacred Tree Branch 240. And SBA 241 on the Etika. Bomb team, pretty standard. FCC on Aureus, 30k, pretty beefy. Rod, 260 Dean, and then he has a pretty slow lifesteal Vivian on Book. When we get to that team, I will explain it, but for now, let's focus on top team. It could be riposte set on the flan, so he's going to go for the S2 on the BBK, and S3 the flan. Get her out of there. And of course, the self-stun. Dragon King pushes herself up and gives Cascade to everyone. And here he has the SBA to further proc the Cascade. And also she has stuns just in case they resist, just like that BBK did. She resisted the strip and buff block. So we have SBA here to stun. And even if she didn't get stunned, she has Pilfer and Attack down. It would not be enough to kill anyone on this team. And they're just waiting out her immortality to finish her off. And she's done for. Alright, bomb team, it's a damage check. Can your SSV kill off the Renak? Of course, water bait for the Renak S2, S3 onto the Dean. Because FCC is such a huge mitigator, she mitigates both the initial hard damage and the fixed damage. He could S2 is optimal here, but he goes for the S3 to play it safe because it could be a crit Empyrean Ilanov, but we do see she is on protection set Adamant, but some out there still run crit. He goes for the FCC S3, and then Emp goes in, goes for S3, Indomitable. Then he lands the S2 with Dean, and he's going to Soulburn here to try and hit the Renak, finish her off. Rocket Punch Barunka. That's not going to help her. Renak is dead. The rest is pretty over. It's long, drawn out. I'll speed it up here. All right, that fight is over. And here is a little bonus fight. We had another guildmate named Izzy, and I recommended him this team. Uh, if you're wondering why there's only two people there, there was originally uh, Renak, but she died to the Setsuka. And as you can see here, he's running a full tank Empyrean Ilanov. And believe it or not, the Setsuka is on repost set. She's just not countering. And because of the injury, she can't really land her blind and whatnot. And this is absolutely insane. This was going on for probably about 30 minutes. He was slowly whittling down the Barunka because there's a gap when she doesn't have a barrier. And so every time she doesn't have a barrier, he would just whittle her down. And he would save up his souls to soulburn with Maid Chloe because if you didn't know, Maid Chloe, her passive, every time she takes a turn, she heals the lowest HP allies. And so he would only soulburn whenever he'd revive Setsuka and they were alive at the same time. So look, he S3s here. She gets the S3. Setsuka dies. So he saves his souls. And you'll notice it later on in the video, but he does eventually have Setsuka alive with Maid, and he soulburns Maid a bunch. There he goes. Lands that. She's finally dead. And here's the finisher. Pretty insane game.